What if I told you that living on $50,000 a year doesn't have to feel like a constant battle of stretching every dollar? Imagine being able to pay your bills, save for the future, and still have enough left over to enjoy life's little luxuries, all on a modest income. Sounds impossible, right? But here's the reality. With the right plan, it's not only possible, but absolutely within your reach. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how I manage my budget like a pro on a $50,000 salary. No gimmicks, just practical strategies that will change how you think about your money. Before we dive in, let's get real for a second. $50,000 a year isn't a massive income, especially when you factor in things like rent or a mortgage, groceries, utilities, maybe even kids to take care of. It can feel overwhelming at times, but here's the thing. With the right budget strategy, it's possible to live a balanced, stress-free life, even on a modest salary. And by the end of this video, you'll have the tools you need to manage your money in a way that gives you more freedom and less financial stress. Let's jump into how to manage $50,000 like a pro. And yes, it's completely doable. The first step in managing any budget is knowing exactly what you're working with. I'm talking about getting crystal clear on your income and your expenses. Start by listing out all of your income sources, whether it's just your salary or you have a side hustle that brings in some extra cash. Once you have that total, break it down into monthly income. For most people on a $50,000 salary, after taxes, you're looking at about $3,500 to $4,000 per month. Next, it's time to look at what's going out. Make a detailed list of all your monthly expenses. Start with your fixed expenses: rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, and any debts like student loans or credit cards. These are the things that don't change much month to month. Then dive into your variable expenses, things like eating out, entertainment, shopping, and those little things you don't really keep track of, but add up over time. This is where people tend to lose track of their spending, so we're going to get really detailed here. Now, before you start feeling overwhelmed by all these numbers, stick with me, because the next step is where we start taking control. Once you see how these numbers fit together, managing your budget will feel way more empowering than you think. Now that you have a clear picture of where your money is going, it's time to bring in one of the most effective budgeting strategies out there, the 50-30-20 rule. This method is simple but powerful because it gives you a framework to manage your money without feeling overly restricted. Here's how it works. 50% of your income goes to needs. This includes things like housing, groceries, transportation, utilities, and essential bills. 30% of your income goes to wants. These are things like dining out, entertainment, hobbies, or that occasional treat. 20% of your income should go to savings or paying off debt. This is where you're building a financial safety net or tackling outstanding loans. So, if you're earning $50,000 a year, that breaks down to around $1,750 to $2,000 per month for your needs, $1,050 to $1,200 for your wants, and about $700 to $800 each month for savings or debt repayment. The magic of the 50-30-20 rule is that it's flexible. You don't have to sacrifice all of the fun stuff just to stay on budget. You're simply putting your money into categories so that you're in control, not your spending habits. And here's the best part. You'll quickly see that living on $50,000 a year doesn't mean you're constantly stressed about money. It actually gives you the structure to enjoy life while still saving for your future. Here's where we take a closer look at trimming the financial fat, cutting back on those things you don't really need. We're not talking about deprivation here, but intentional choices that make room for the things that matter most. Let's start with the subscriptions. How many of us are guilty of paying for multiple streaming services, gym memberships we never use, or even subscription boxes that don't bring real value? These small, recurring costs might seem harmless, but they add up quickly. Next, let's tackle your grocery bill. Eating healthy and sticking to a budget isn't as hard as it seems. By planning meals ahead of time, buying generic brands, and using apps like Ibotta or Fetch for cashback, you can easily shave off hundreds of dollars from your grocery spending each month. You don't have to cut out everything, but by making intentional choices, you'll save way more than you realize, without giving up the things you love. Keep watching, because the next strategy will show you how to save without even thinking about it. One of the best strategies for staying on track with your savings is to automate it. The truth is, if you don't see the money in your checking account, you're much less likely to spend it. This is why automating your savings is so powerful. Here's how it works. Set up an automatic transfer that moves money from your checking account into a savings account as soon as you get paid. You can even set this up with apps like Chime or Bank that allow you to schedule regular transfers. And don't stop at savings. Automate your debt payments too. Whether you're paying off student loans or credit cards, having these payments go out automatically ensures you stay on track and avoid late fees or penalties. The less you have to think about, the better. Living on $50,000 a year might be enough to cover your needs, but if you want to accelerate your financial progress, boosting your income is key. Side hustles are a great way to add to your budget without needing a second full-time job. Think about skills you already have: freelance writing, graphic design, or even social media management. Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr are full of people looking for exactly those services. Even picking up a gig like driving for Uber or Lyft a few hours a week can add hundreds of extra dollars to your budget. The best part? You can put that extra income toward your savings goals, pay off debt faster, or simply create a buffer for unexpected expenses. And here's the thing, you don't have to work more to make more. Smart choices with your budget and a few side gigs can transform your financial situation. One of the biggest misconceptions about living on a tight budget is that it means giving up all the fun. But I'm here to tell you that frugal living doesn't mean sacrificing a good life. It's all about making smart choices with your money. There are tons of free or low-cost entertainment options that let you enjoy life without breaking the bank. Whether it's hiking, attending community events, or having movie nights at home, you don't need to spend a fortune to have a good time. Stick with me, because the next tip will show you how to fine-tune your budget and make every dollar work for you without feeling restricted. Managing your money is not a set it and forget it kind of thing. Life happens, and that's why it's so important to review your budget regularly, at least once a month. Check in on your expenses and see where you can improve. Did you overspend in one area? Did you save more than expected? The key is to be adaptable. If something isn't working, adjust it. Don't be afraid to make changes along the way. Maybe you can cut back a little more on dining out, or maybe you have more room to save in your wants category. It's all about making sure your budget works for you and not the other way around. This regular check-in gives you the opportunity to celebrate your wins too. Maybe you've hit a savings milestone or paid off a debt. That's huge. Reward yourself for sticking to your goals, even if it's something small. These little celebrations keep you motivated and remind you why it's all worth it. Before you click away, remember, your financial situation isn't set in stone. With consistent effort and smart planning, you can make your $50,000 a year go further than you ever thought possible. Living on $50,000 a year might sound like a challenge, but with the right mindset and budgeting strategy, it's completely possible to live comfortably, save for the future, and still enjoy life. By using tools like the 50-30-20 rule, Automating your savings, cutting unnecessary expenses, and boosting your income. With side hustles, you'll gain control over your money and reduce financial stress. The key is to take it one step at a time. Start with understanding your numbers, set clear goals, and adjust as you go. You'll be amazed at how much progress you can make with just a few small changes. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more tips and strategies to master your finances. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you manage your budget? What tips and tricks have worked for you? Drop a comment below and let's keep this conversation going.